please, won't you stick around? I don't want to say goodbye when the sun goes down. I want to keep you close, want to hold you tight. I don't ever want to say goodnight, won't you stick around? An hour or two will never be enough to be with you. Whenever you leave me longing and blue. Please, oh please, won't you stick around? Spare just a little time, don't go running around. I want to keep you close, want to hold you tight. I don't ever want to say goodnight, but just stick around. Well, if you leave, don't leave it oh so long. Come on back where you know you belong. When we're apart, how I long for you. You stole my heart, don't you ever say we're through. Please, oh please, won't you stick around? Spare just a little time, don't go running around. I want to keep you close, want to hold you tight. I don't ever want to say goodnight, stick around. An hour or two will never be enough to be with you. Whenever you leave me longing and blue. Please, oh please, won't you stick around? I don't want to say goodbye when the sun goes down. I want to keep you close, want to hold you tight. I don't.
And my mind is made up. This love's got to go. Spend the rest of my day without you. Everyone's gonna know me in the valley of tears. The valley of tears.
Don't everybody start talking at once.
Hey everybody. Sorry, it just throws me off because I'm in the GM seat this time. So welcome, Restless Barbarians. Glad to see you all here and all of you out there that I can't see. Thank you for joining us today. We are exploring the Fallout game. I think I'm the only one here who's played in this game, and it's only like one time when I ran it. So it's been good. But we're all familiar with the Fallout universe one way or another. We've either been playing the video games since they first came out, or we've been watching the show. For those younger members of the party who maybe missed out on Fallout 1 and 2. I missed out on Fallout 1 and 2 when they first came out. I didn't play them until much later. I started off with Fallout 3. So today we are going to be running the Once Upon a Time in the Wasteland module, which is part of the starter set that you can get for from Modifius. It's sort of a tutorial module where it like slowly introduces rules as you go. So if you're watching and you are familiar with the game already and you're wondering why we're not doing such and such, it's because I just haven't introduced it to the players yet. So why don't we go around the table real quick and have everyone introduce their characters before they meet in game life. We can start off with Tom Bolter. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I am Bolthra. I am playing Marvin, a Mr. Handy robot who might seem like he has a bit of an attitude problem because he doesn't want to be here.
All right, Vivi, tell us about Jolly.
Hi, I'm Vivi. I'm playing Jolly J. Jenkins. And Jolly J. Jenkins is a Wastelander mercenary who is just out here having the best time ever through sheer force of optimism. So I like to think that she leans on the insane side of the bright side. So we're going to have a great day and nothing will ever go wrong.
All right, Diver, tell us about Castor.
So I'm Diver, and I'm playing Castor today. And Castor is a raider in the Wasteland. Although he doesn't really have a tribe or anything. All of his tribe is conveniently deceased. And he's been living out there anyway. He's a bit of a night person. And so, yeah, that's kind of his whole thing. He's out there raiding and doing other unscrupulous things.
All right, finally, Aloysius, Mr. Blood Conduit, please tell us about Hazel.
Hello, I'm Aloysius. I'm playing Hazel Johnson. Hazel is an initiate for the Brotherhood of Steel. She's, a relatively new initiate. Currently she's just out there trying to find something that'll make her, a really invaluable member of the Order, and, has a real peppy go-getter attitude, but can handle herself when it comes down to it.
All right, sounds good. Does anybody have any questions before we jump into the first scene? All right, we're all good. Well, welcome everyone to the Commonwealth. We are playing in the blasted out areas surrounding Boston. This takes place just before or at the start of the Fallout 4 games, for those of you out there who memorized all of the timelines. So the year is 2280 something. You have all been out in the wasteland on your own for the last couple of days for whatever reasons. You were alone, but you've recently, just in the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, you heard gunshots off in the distance, and for whatever reason, you decided to go toward the gunshots instead of away from them. So you've all sort of come out from slightly different directions to the exterior of what is apparently a vault entrance. It's definitely a cave in the side of the hill, and you can kind of see into the darkness of the cave that there is some light shining out from something inside. Just from your experience, in the area, you're guessing this is either an official Vault-Tec vault or somebody's underground lair. There's even external lights that are kind of like flickering on, off and on. And the doors seem to lie open for whatever reason, which is unusual. If a vault has its doors open, it's usually been picked clean for years and years. So it's a cold evening. The sun's going down. The sky is glowing a lovely radioactive green because you're not too far from the glowing sea, which is off to the, west-southwest of Boston, an area where one of the bombs dropped during the war, and it is still super radioactive. You're relatively safe where you're at now, but storms do roll in out of the sea, bathing the area in radioactive rain and dust quite often. In fact, it sort of seems like one of them might be blowing up now. You are standing in a circle, sort of facing each other. You've all arrived at this location separately. There's the four of you and a fifth NPC who is standing there. And Jolly, you've got a bit of a mercenary background. You've been around a lot of the Commonwealth. You recognize one of these people. Can you tell us where you recognize them from? Maybe they were a job that you worked on, or you ran across them on a job, or maybe you just decided not to kill them one time.
Probably the third. Jolly J. Jenkins is pretty good at most of her jobs. Doesn't really have a problem with murdering people. But she tends to leave a lot of loose ends. Mostly because she's like, all right, I did my job, time to go home. Or go on one or to the next. So she's probably met this person as somebody that she's probably just spared on a fun whimsy.
All right, which of these do you recognize? Or if we have a volunteer? Because you may not realize that she recognizes you. So which of these fellows do you recognize?
Marvin is pretty recognizable from anybody, so I don't think it would be.
Yeah, there's a little Mr. Handy, so just like floating there.
Yeah. So
I'll do eeny meeny miny mo. Hold on. It's Castor.
The Raven.
Might have just been a situation of Castor being in the wrong place, wrong time. And I was kind of like, all right, oopsie daisy. You go on your merry way. Very much not the killing, raiding, stealing type on my end. She gets herself in trouble by not doing a lot of the things necessary for her own survival.
All right. Castor, how do you remember the time that you met JJ?
She was alive and looked kind of pasty in a way. And was not heavily irradiated. So, the fact that she's here again shows that she has good qualities, good survival qualities. That means that should he have the opportunity to sample, some part of her whole essence, then that would add to his, obviously, and would make him even stronger. You probably do not want to know what's going on inside his head. So So he is sufficiently antisocial in this circumstance and most others. But he's looking at JJ with he definitely looks like he's trying to keep. You're an item on the menu. That's basically what it amounts to. Yeah.
All right. And how is he looking at the other two?
Pretty much, he's assessing their deliciousness. The robot, not so much. And so it's just like parts and everything may be useful in some other manner. But Hazel, yeah, he's definitely like idly just kind of sharpening his teeth with his machete and, just basically like thinking about who he's going to have next. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Hazel would initially see Castor and especially seeing him filing his teeth, then sort of keep a firm distance away from him and not put her hand on her holster, but definitely have it at the ready to pull out her laser pistol if it comes down to that.
Okay. Marvin, you see that Hazel is casually caressing her weapon. Castor seems to be cleaning his teeth. How are you reacting to the others, and what's your stance right now?
Well, the buzzsaw on one of the end of their appendages just kind of turns on, just kind of gives a couple of rotations real quick. His eye stalk is kind of looking around as he just kind of rotates, and you just hear him, hear this voice say, "I don't want to play with these kids again."
Oh, all right.
They don't play nice, and they don't share very well.
How do you know? I'm a big sharer.
I've been known to share.
How many games you like to play?
I don't like to play with fleshies. You guys are too squishy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't do much about that.
Castor's just kind of go look at the robot and continue to idly think of ways that those eye stalks and buzzsaws and everything else could be used in a better manner.
I think Hazel will slowly but cautiously make her way over towards JJ because she appears to be the most normal out of this mess that's happening right now.
You know me. Yeah, I mean, kind of just like keeping an eye on everything. But she's not making much of a move. She's got like her hunting rifle with her, kind of just like pointed downwards, but finger is on the trigger. And she's kind of like peeking back at Castor, being like,
He's just kind of nodding, a look of recognition, like licking his teeth.
"Hey,
Like, hey.
you have a familiar face. Have we met before?" Sorry, I have a really bad memory.
I've seen you walking around out here.
Great.
You obviously survived rather well.
Oh, thank you. I've been doing my best, honestly. It's a little rough out here at times, but you do what you got.
You certainly do. And the Wasteland can help you get strong.
He's got quite the sales pitch.
He kind of does.
I know, right? Like, I want to know more about this whole Wasteland make you strong. Maybe like a drink.
Right. All right. Well, Hazel, while these two are seem to be sort of focused on each other, you're, I guess, keeping an eye on everyone and everything.
Yeah. Also, we heard like a shooting, so there are like bodies around or anything.
Yeah. So I was about to mention, since you're kind of looking around and looking for bodies, make a perception plus medicine check.
Okay. How do I do
know if that
that?
is something you can do directly. But if you go on the abilities tab on your sheet, you'll see that there's a medicine skill. And
Yes.
it says INT next to it because it is normally linked to intelligence. But if you right click on any of those skills, it'll give you a drop down menu and you can use a different ability. So go ahead and choose perception.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And just the normal 2.
Just
I'm
a normal
assuming.
2d20 for
All
now.
right, just double checking. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So this is a roll under system. You roll your 2d20 and you want to look for a target number, in this case, of 9. So it's the sum of perception and medicine in this case. It's always the sum of the special ability and the skill. So you were looking for numbers that are 9 or less. You got a 4 and 5, so you've gotten 2 successes.
Cool.
So you only needed 1 success to notice this blood trail on the ground that is leading sort of from down the road and into the open door of the vault area. You also notice, sort of crouching behind a rock and watching the other 5 of you, a 5th member of this little ring. Older man dressed in a lab coat, maybe scientist, maybe a doctor, maybe just happened to kill one of them and take their lab coat. But the lab coat looks well worn, like he's been in it for a while. And he's sort of like wringing his hands a little bit and trying to decide whether or not he's going to come into your group. A little mechanic thing before we get on, you got 2 successes and you only needed 1. So whenever you get more successes than you need, that converts into action points that you can use. So right now, we won't get into what to do with your action points. There's not much to spend it on right now. So when you don't have something to do with that action point, your personal action point, you can bank it into the group action point. So you'll see down in the lower right-hand corner of the Foundry page, there's an overseer action points. That's for me. And there's party action points. That's for you. You should have started with 4. I forgot to set those. Oh no, or do I start? I start with 4. We'll start you with 4 too. What the hell? So you just got one more that you're not going to use. So it would the smart thing to do is to bank that into the party AP. Everybody can adjust the party AP on their own. So that is a pool of action points that you can all spend from to do things. And we'll get more into what you can do with them as we go along. But just for now, know that that is a meta currency that you guys share. So when you make a roll, any extra successes you get are your personal action points that you can spend. And if you don't spend them, they just go into the party action pool. Now, the party action point pool is capped at 6. So don't be miserly. Spend them. It's pretty easy to get more. If you ever find yourself empty, you have 0 in the pool, and you haven't generated any, there are ways to buy them by basically giving me action points. So we'll each take an action point, and then I can spend action points to do nasty things to you.
Yeah.
Just like you can use them to do good things for you. All right, so you spotted a blood trail leading off into the it looks like it came down the road. It's sort of like hard to see in the setting sun, but you just gotta like some light came through the trees and hit it just right, and you notice, wait a minute, that's a blood trail going into the vault, and there's a guy here who's looking at us. He kind of like steps out. He's like, please, friends, just I heard gunshots and was investigating. Do you know anything about what's going on here?
We all sort of just convened a moment ago, sir.
Oh,
her hand still cautious towards her holster.
Good Samaritans then. That's great. And about the time he gets to that, you hear just like either a burst of like a single weapon gunfire, or maybe 2 or 3 weapons shooting at the same time coming from inside the vault, and then a scream, like, help me, somebody!
Marvin starts gliding in that direction.
All right, Marvin's heading toward the vent.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor looking guy's like, it sounds like someone's in trouble. Maybe we should investigate.
Hazel will also sort of rush towards the vault entrance, but she'll take cover sort of just like right outside the entryway and sort of like peek around to try to look further in, however far she can possibly see in there.
Okay. You can see in a little ways, there's light coming in from an interior door sort of shining out, and you see some silhouettes moving towards you. As you guys are kind of closing in on the vault entrance. And it looks like someone has spotted you, because you can see one of the silhouettes kind of like turn back and say, there's scavengers out here trying to follow the girl. Light them up, boys.
Marvin's going to take cover.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so
available cover is.
you are sort of outside a hillside, the vault entrance, and there's like a road that runs along it. It seems to be like an old service road. You're not too far from the old 95. You're just a little bit to the east of it, like maybe half mile. So this seems to be what's left of an old service road is pretty beat up now. Lots of grass growing and the rocks are torn up. There's an old burnt out car off to the side. There's several boulders, so you got your choice. You can get behind boulders, get behind a car. You can just hide behind a bush if you want.
Boulders, please.
Okay. I'm going to switch us over to a different scene. I've already kind of thrown you guys onto the hillside here. So this is a rough idea of what we've got. You've got your hillside vault, and then the different zones represent different zones that characters can be in. So rather than having specific distances in this game where 5 meters this way, 3 meters that way, you have the zones of close, medium, long, and extreme. So if you're in one zone, anybody in the zone next to you is at medium distance. Anyone that is in the zone with you is close distance. Anyone you're standing next to and can touch, you are within reach of. So obviously, if you're within reach of someone, you're also within close of someone. and that can make a difference sometimes. Like if you're trying to do ranged attacks and there's somebody in your face, that can be an issue. But basically, the 5 of you are in the roadside zone. You've got coming out of the vault entrance. You can see 3 what appear to be raiders. You can make them all visible. Yay, they're visible now. Coming out of the vault entrance. You spotted them coming, so they're not going to get the drop on you. Everyone's going to act within initiative order. Mr. Gutsy has managed to take cover behind a rock. Or not Mr. Gutsy, Mr. Handy. Everyone else, what would you like to do as you see the silhouettes coming out of the vault? How do you want to prepare for them?
Can I go up to the hillside above?
Yep. So you can move. Hang on a sec. Trying to start a combat. There we go. Not too used to Foundry. Yeah, so that's certainly something you can do. You won't be able to get there very quickly because it's 2 zones away. So it'll take you basically 2 turns to get there unless you want to spend some extra actions on getting there. So on your turn, you can do a minor action and a major action. And somewhere around here I have... Where did those go? Examples of minor and major actions.
Could you turn down the music just like a little bit?
Yeah, it's getting a little intense.
Yeah, you can adjust your own music from the music tab. But I'll go ahead and I meant to do that whenever it started. Oh, I know what happens. When we switch scenes, it went back to the default volume.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a tab. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, so you got a playlist tab, and you can adjust all the different music on your own if things are awful. And if it gets super annoying, we can just turn it off. Where was combat? There we go. Okay, so moving from one zone to a nearby zone, so from close to medium is one minor action. So you can move like to the vault entrance. If you want to get to the hillside above, it would take a major action. You can do a sprint, which allows you to move up to 2 zones. But then you won't have any. You won't be able to attack or anything. So basically, you spend your turn getting into position.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to spend my turn getting into position.
All right, so I think you can just grab yourself and stick yourself into the hillside above zone if you want.
It says I can't grab it because the game is paused.
Oh, right. Unpaused.
Woo!
There we go. Anybody else want to position themselves somewhere? You've got basically a turn before these guys are out.
Yeah. So Caster is going to look at this scientist person like a reptile catches a new prey on the scene, just one eye, really considers how he might taste, and succulent scientist. And then JJ seems to possess some form of mystical telepathy because she read his mind. That's exactly what he was going to do. And it's going to look not quite so innocent, of course, because he's going to follow her up to the hillside above. Because that's what he was originally going to do anyway. But she just happened to steal his good idea. And so, he's going to accompany her.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. So he is going to do his sprint, which is, you can tell he's been out here for a while. So his sprint is not like a normal person. He sprints like a creature that has lived out here for some time. So yeah, it's the way an animal would move rather than than a person. You know?
As soon as he hears "get him," he's like, "Phew." Okay, Hazel, how do you want to prep as these three shadows are moving out?
Let's see. So, I was technically right outside the vault entrance when I peeked in. Is there? I kind of want to like stay there for the moment, but is there like a good like secondary cover, like maybe like a car or something like nearby that I could run to if need
Yeah,
be?
there's an old military truck there that like the bed has been removed from, and the tires are all rotted off and gone. But you can kind of duck down. There's weeds growing up through it.
Okay, I will stay like right outside the vault entrance for the time being, but I'll clock that for a good secondary cover once they emerge from the vault.
Okay. All right. So they come out, and you can see one of them is obviously sort of in charge. He's like, he's leading the charge, and he's telling what to do. He watches the other two. It's like, I saw 3 of them try to get around us. Circle back and cover us. I'm going to go for the few out here. So I've got the combat tracker pulled up here.
What about
the combat?
Marvin staying on the roadside?
Marvin ducked behind a boulder, a bush,
Yep.
a car, something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he stayed in the roadside area along with Dr. Rast, who is also like hiding down there. So the encounter tab in Foundry is the crossed swords icon, if you want to look at there. But you'll see that everyone is sort of arranged according to their initiative. Fallout uses a static initiative. It is your score is the sum of 2 of your special abilities. We don't need to go into specifically which 2. I don't remember right offhand, but it's automatically calculated on your sheet, and it's pulled into the combat tracker whenever I started the combat. So Dr. Rast goes first, and he's just going to duck behind the burnt out fusion powered car that's sitting out on the roadside, and sort of I guess be a cheerleader. He's
the bard.
I mean, the little bit of a look that you got of him, when he was saying it was hands up, you didn't see any weapons on him or anything. You had a couple of pouches that might have some chems or something in them, but he wasn't armed that you could tell. So he's just like, hiding. And he's just this skinny old thing, kind of dark brown hair a little bit, and
Hardly any meat on him.
Yeah, hardly. So he's just he's going to duck behind and hide. So we don't have to worry too much about him. But JJ, you're up first in the round. So you spot these 3 come out and kind of look around. 2 of them get directions to circle back around roughly the way you came, and they sort of split off and head, one to the right, one to the left. And it's obvious that they're going to be coming up around the hill. What would you like to do?
Can I shoot one of them?
You can certainly try. They are in the next zone over, so that is medium range. What kind of weapon are you using? Let me bring up your
Good old hunting rifle. Range medium.
Range medium, perfect. Okay, so all of the weapons have a primary range listed. So medium means that you have no penalty if you're firing into the next zone. But if you're firing it in the same zone at close range or 2 zones away at long, you'll have your difficulty will go up. So the hunting rifle is perfect for something that is in the next zone. So all you need to do is click on the weapon on your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring your sheet up too, just so I can see. Lower left, you'll see favorite weapons, and you've got hunting rifle. You've got 26 ammo. When you make the attack, it'll automatically decrement that ammo for you.
Okay. I just click roll for it now?
Yep. So you click the word hunting rifle. It'll pop up a little roll dialogue. Mm-hmm. All right. So your
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Look at that. So you got a 1.
Hell yeah.
Ones are criticals successes, which means they count as 2 successes. And then you rolled a 6 with a target number of 11, so you got 3 successes. Now, which are you targeting? The guy who seems to be in charge, or one of the two that is running around?
I'm gonna go for the guy in charge because I feel like the 2 hooligans might lose a little bit of their intelligence.
Sounds good.
without
Just
command.
so I know, you can. I think you guys have the ability to right-click on any of the enemy tokens and then click the little button that looks like a target to show that, hey, this is the guy I'm targeting in case
Oh,
it's.
like that?
Yeah, like I just did for him. So that's the main guy. Is known as Red Rocky. Not that you can tell, but you'll see that if you mouse over. So that way you can indicate to each other who you're targeting. Like if you want to go, hey, let's all dogpile on this guy, then you can do tactical stuff if you need to. We don't have to, but it's a thing. All right, so you're going to take a shot at him. These raiders have a defense of 1, which means all you have to do is get 1 success to hit them. He was Red Rocky, that's right. So you got 3 successes. You got 2 extra successes that you can spend as action points. So why don't we talk a little bit about what you can spend those on? One of the things you can do with your action points in combat is to buy extra D20s. So these you would probably spend from the party pool because you tend to do it before you roll. So like if you know that you're up to doing something that has a high difficulty, that you need more than 1 success, you may want to add a few D20s to your pool. So instead of rolling 2, you could roll 3 by spending 1 AP. If you want it, and the price goes up. So to add 1 die costs 1 AP, to add 2 dice costs 3 AP, and to add 3 dice costs 6 AP. And that's the maximum you can ever roll is 5 D20. Obviously, you didn't need to do that. Other things you can do for it, though, you can ask for information. So you can kind of do, in conjunction with your attack, you can ask something about either the situation or the person that you just attacked. And I have to give you a reasonable, truthful, but not necessarily, encyclopedic answer. But you can also use it to add extra actions. So for 1 AP, you can take an extra minor action. For 2 AP, you can take an extra major action. So just keep that in mind. But what's more important in this case is you can use it to add extra damage.
Ooh, okay.
So 1 AP, you can add an extra damage die, and you can buy up to 3 extra damage dice. To do that easily, let's see. Your attack did not roll damage, though it did roll the hit location, which we'll get to in just a second. That's funny. I thought that it would roll the damage as well. So let me figure out how to do the damage real quick. Oh, okay, I see. So you see under favorite weapons, there's it says hunting rifle. Off to the right, it says 6, and then a little image of a
die.
Fall. Yeah. So that's the damage die.
Okay.
I think if you click that, it will roll the dice, or at least give you a dialogue.
Okay.
If the dialogue
So I
pops
roll
up,
6 dice.
yeah, that's you're going to be rolling 6 dice for the damage. That should be the damage on the hunting rifle if it's entered correctly in the.
Sweet honey bunch. All right.
And then you see there's an add button on the dialogue thing that pops up. So if you wanted to spend some AP to add more, like you just earned 2 action points. If you wanted to spend those to add 2 more dice, you'd click the add button and it would roll. Actually,
Okay. I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna roll 2 more.
All
See
right.
what I get.
So there you go. All right. Sweet. So you have gotten it doesn't enter. So that's 5 effects, a damage of 6. So what do the dice faces mean? The blank ones are pretty obvious. Those are nothing. The one with what looks like a bang or maybe a bullet hole is a single damage. There are die faces that have 2 bullet holes, 2 damage. And then the one where it's the little Vault Boy face, that is 1 damage and 1 special effect. So some weapons like the flamer, like Marvin's flamer, will do physical damage, but also like set things on fire if you get an effect die. So if you happen to be using a weapon that had an effect, I don't think the hunting rifle has an effect.
It has piercing 1 effect.
Oh, there you go. Oh, it says right there, damage effects, piercing 1. So what you've done then is 5 effect dice. So it now has whatever piercing does, which I think adds speed or goes through damage reduction or something like that. I don't know. I can figure that out real quick. If I mouse over it, it pops up. Tell me. All right. I don't know who created this, the Fallout thing. You put in a hell of a lot of work for something in Foundry that you did for free. So thank you very much. Because the fact that I can mouse over the word piercing and it tells me what the hell that means without even, you didn't get paid for this. So people out there, go figure out who made this module for Foundry and I don't know, buy them a coffee or something.
Treat them good.
So it ignores 5 points of the target's damage reduction for each for what you did. So X points.
Holy shit, that's good.
So, yeah, because they got shit for damage reduction. They're just wearing like leather armor or something, typical raider type stuff, the kind of stuff that Castor's wearing. So you don't have to worry about their damage reduction. Because that was the next thing we would do is I would open up Mr. Rocky's sheet here. Your hit landed on the left leg. So
his left leg is gone, basically.
Pretty much. Because anytime you do 5 or more damage to a location, you do a critical hit and cause an injury. So you have... he didn't even have any damage reduction on his left leg because all his armor is up top. So 6 damage to him, but he now has an injury on his left leg. So mark that.
Castor, I got you dinner.
Yeah. He's like, nice shot.
Just immediately starts drooling all over the place.
It's like,
No, when you shoot for the best, you get what you get.
Right.
He's pretty content with that. He's pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to eat well today.
Okay.
And
Great
tag team, I blow off legs, and you're like, yes.
Each body
hyping you up the whole time.
He's like, ah.
Like, keep it up. And I'm like, thanks. He's so supportive.
The other white meat.
Starts requesting specific things. He's like, do you mind if maybe, I could get like a nice meaty wrist? And I'm like, I could shoot for the arm, special requests.
Yep. All right, so you did a critical in the leg, so that immediately knocks him prone. His leg just gives out from under him.
Outstanding. Yeah.
And so he can't sprint anymore, obviously.
He can't even he can barely walk.
Right. And if he moves, it takes him a whole major action just to move anywhere because he's crawling on the ground. So well shot.
Yeah. JJ just served up the first course. It was
good opening volley.
Not mark him as prone.
That's the best we're gonna get, guys. It's because I rolled those 2 nat 20s before we started the game.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
But that's what she does best. It goes downhill, but her optimism goes up.
I would use one of the
the
status
more
markers.
positive she is.
Her name should be Jolly Delusional Jenkins.
So happy about the fact that you just took him down.
I was like,
the thing is, we don't know that she's delusionally optimistic because right now there's a lot to celebrate. So
yeah.
Right,
it's just going together.
All right, next up is Mr. Rocky, who's now lying on the ground, grabbing at his knee.
Rocky the legless.
Yeah. So he kind of like rolls over on his back and looks up the hill and tries to figure out which of the two of you just shot him. What kind of weapon?
It's like it was me.
So what's Castor look like right now?
Castor, I don't know. I mean, because I don't know if he had a chance to do this, but his whole intention was to go up there and actually like lurk and hide, not for fear or anything, but because he really likes to ambush people, and he feels that as he sees JJ line up the sights and take this guy's leg off, by the time he realizes what's happening, Caster is hidden in the brush or something like that, and he is like a hungry animal. Like he's just like waiting for this wounded prey to approach, and JJ is just waving him over. So she is doing everything exactly as he wants, and he is just lurking. He's hiding. That's really his intention. Is he's just gonna leap out and jump on this guy and carve him up like a turkey dinner. So yeah.
Okay.
That's really this is what he's going to do. So that's my intention. I don't know how that looks like in mechanics and dice, but that's my intention.
Right. Well, it looks like he doesn't. So he like spins around and he sees Jolly up there with the
and she's just waving like I did it.
He doesn't spot you at all. He's just like laser focused on her.
Yeah.
And he's gonna let rip with his. He's just got a little pipe revolver, in his hand, but he just lets rip with that. Which is one of the special abilities raiders have. What does it mean? He adds the fire rate to the weapon's damage. Okay. What is the fire rate? Fire rate on this thing. One. Okay, so that doesn't do much. All right. Which just means he has one extra die of damage if he hits. Okay, so he lets loose with his revolver. I'm going to spend a couple of points to add 2 dice to that.
No, you ain't.
And
I'm good. I'm built different.
All right.
I'm built solid.
Oh, Red Rocky gets 4 successes. So JJ, your what do you call it? Defense is also 1. Defense is based on your agility. If it's past a certain point, you have a defense of 2. Anything less than that, your defense is 1, and that's true for everybody. It basically means that it just takes 1 success to hit anybody in this game. So you're hit. You are hit in the left leg. Do you have any kind of damage reduction on your left leg?
I have armor, I think. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe armor. Just can't remember what leg it's on.
My apparel. Leather left leg.
Okay, there you go. So let me roll damage real quick.
See?
Built different.
Built different.
Gets 1 more because of the
Optimism is my armor.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's not awesome.
Right, so he's piercing as well.
Side.
So he's ignoring that armor. So you're taking 5 damage.
Okay, not
On
great.
your left leg. That's a critical.
Uh-oh.
So just like Mr. Rocket, your left leg flies out from under you.
Caster's having a great day. He's getting
You start rolling down the hill.
Yeah, he's getting legs left, right, and center.
So 5 damage on you. You now have an injury on your left leg. We'll get into what injuries do for you guys in a moment. But for right now, note that. And you can mark an injury on your character sheet by clicking on one of the little green boxes that are listed like above your left leg. Just do a single left click. It'll turn that into a red blood drop and it'll indicate that you've got an injury.
Okay.
I guess you can have more than 1 injury on the same spot. But
So my health is at 5?
I don't know. You took 5 damage. I don't remember what your.
I have a health of 10, so.
Okay. Yes. You can change that directly from your token on the sheet. If you right click on it, you'll see at the bottom there's a number that says 10. If you just click in there, it'll highlight the whole 10, and you can just hit -5 and enter, and it'll take 5 off.
Okay.
And that's linked to your character sheet.
The scent of blood fills the air.
Right. Yes. So, Caster, just off to your right, Jolly has made an incredible shot and just gotten taken out by another incredible shot and is now bleeding out the left leg and rolling down the hill. What do you do?
Dinner is being served. Yeah.
Spray of blood in the air. That scent of iron.
Like a Jackson Pollock, Thanksgiving dinner.
the grass has a nice speckle across it. It looks
Oh
nice.
yeah, it's very artistic, very Tarantino. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your plan? You've got two guys that are still look like they're about to come up the hill. They haven't gotten their turn just yet, but they're headed this way.
Provided he can ambush, like he's just going to jump right on top of this wounded animal, formerly named Rocky, who's currently going to be named Dead for dinner. And so, yeah, he's going to jump right on top of him and just basically carve him up like he intended to do, because he's wounded. He's got that wonderful aroma of bleeding. And so, yeah, he's going to jump right on top
There
of
you
him.
go. Yeah, minor action gets you into the next
on it.
zone. So, yep. You
The nice irony smell in the air.
Yes, exactly.
Same zone as him. And, yeah, leap right onto him. You've got a major action is an attack. So what do you attack with?
He's going to attack with his machete.
Melee guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I use. Do I click on the melee weapons? Is that what I do first?
Yeah, you should have on the front of your sheet. There should be favorite weapons.
Okay.
Down at the bottom, if I set it up right. Yeah. You just click on the word machete.
Okay.
And then if you hit, you'll click on the damage die.
A 1!
Yay! He's good at this.
Yuppie!
All right.
So 2 successes. So that gives you an AP that you can spend.
Yeah.
Or bank.
And I'd like to do that. Yeah. Yeah. So now for damage, let's go to machete and then click on the damage dice, right?
Correct. Yeah. Which I think for you is 5 dice for that, and then you'll be able to add more if you want.
And then I'll add something to that. Can I tell if he's dead already, or if I need to really put an extra bit of?
I don't think you can really tell that.
Okay,
it's
all right.
So
I'll add, because I really want to make sure, and that didn't help. So
that didn't help.
Yeah.
All right, but still, you did 5, so you know you're doing a critical, and you've got the piercing effect. So where hit it? Where did you hit him?
It didn't say.
It didn't roll. Interesting. Well, let me roll a quick hit location die. Left arm.
Yeah. Well, his leg is gone, so it's natural to go right for his arm next.
Yeah.
So ideally, the one that's holding his gun, if possible. So, yeah.
Yeah. So he does have some armor on his left arm, but that's okay. Your piercing effect will go right through that.
I don't care about armor. That's just like taking the skin off an animal. That's fine.
So he now has an injury there, but that does 5 damage, which is not enough to kill him, but he is definitely not happy at this point.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
So he drops the
gun?
No, that's right. He was using a pistol. So let's see. Evens, he's left-handed. Rolled an 18. Yes, he's left-handed. So he drops his pistol.
No more gun for you.
Which is the result of a critical on the arm. It's you drop whatever's in that hand. And he can't use that arm for anything anymore. So if he tries to shoot you, he'll have to do it with his right hand, and he'll be at a disadvantage of some sort.
Dinner is served. Yeah.
Right.
He's defenseless now.
Yeah.
And very wounded.
All right. So you used your AP to add a die. Would you like to use any of the party AP to take another action or something to finish him off?
Yeah. With the party's permission, I would like to do that.
You don't even need permission. You're a raider. You just take what you need.
Yeah. I
abhor violence. Stop this.
Yes, I feel like I'm getting the thumbs up here from at least one party member, which is all the validation I really need.
Go get
So,
some.
yeah.
Mark off
So
one
you
of
have
those party
permission
AP
from the
and
player.
take another
He's
attack.
will be horrified.
Yeah. So tell me what I do. Do I just re-roll the melee
Actually,
weapon?
sorry, it's 2 AP to take a major.
That's
action.
fine. I'll take him out.
Yeah, just re-roll assuming you're going to attack with the machete and not your teeth.
No. He's getting ready now to really. He's just like one of those people at the end of the buffet table with the big ham or the big turkey just slicing, and you can tell that he's done this before. So yeah.
All right, 1 success. That's all you need. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right.
See where it hit. It hit in the right leg this time.
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't want to carve up the same limb.
Yeah.
You got to move on to the ones that haven't been carved up yet.
So you slice off a big old piece of
Yeah.
ham, and he screams horribly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
he
you can
is-
say he's settled down. Castor has settled down into a methodical. He's done this before. It's second nature. He's just going. Yeah, he's going all Carver on this guy.
Yeah, and this guy's just kind of like lying there staring at you. He's in shock. He's not dead.
This is Wasteland
he's just
surgery, is what
Yeah,
this
he's
is.
just watching in horror as you slice
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a big old chunk off of
He's
this.
gonna lick the
Kinda
blood
like-
from his machete. He's just going.
he's not even really screaming. He's just kind of like keening, in
Yeah.
the back of his throat. His eyes are bugging out of his head.
Yeah.
This is why I
He's
put a
kinda like-
content warning at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's totally he's just like so good.
Okay. The two what do you call it? Henchmen, I guess. Yeah, the two henchmen to this fellow, notice, their boss go down with one shot, and then
And being
this
carved to
crazy,
pieces.
raider jumping on with a machete and stuff, and they just bolt. They're out of here. They are heading off, and
They
They're
want to
going-
survive. They're survivors. Yeah.
they're off into like down the road. So they are, they're just gonna sprint. So they're basically they'll be off, long distance from most of you. Yeah, from any of you, they'll be long distance away if you want to try to take a shot at them on your turn. Marvin, what would you like to do?
Well, now that there's no targets really left, Marvin will come out of cover, and it's probably going to just move over right next to the guy who's getting carved up,
And observe.
and just observe. Yeah. He's
You're not gonna start buzzsawing?
Are you
him?
taking notes?
he's just going to look down and be like, "No more toys to play with. They're all broken."
And the guy just his eye just like rolls over towards you. He's foaming at the mouth and just
He does nothing to help.
barely
He
breathing.
just kind of watches.
His
And then
mouth
he's probably
spurts.
his eye stalk is probably looking around, watching, clocking everybody else because just wants to see what they're doing. So, but really no action then.
Okay, Hazelden, what do you want to do?
All right. Well, Hazel's no stranger to a fight, but also, this is what's going on is a bit horrifying. So I think she is going to run up the hill towards where JJ is and try to tend to her wounded leg.
Oh, thank you. You're so
Sounds
nice.
good. All right, so JJ kind of started rolling down the hill and has rolled into the vault entrance area. So
Okay.
you can get to her easily with your minor action, and then you can take an action to apply first aid, which is a major action. So thank goodness someone got hurt. We can introduce first aid. So that's one of the things you can do in combat. It's an intelligence and medicine test. The difficulty is equal to the number of injuries the patient has. So you have a difficulty of 1. And if you succeed, you can either give her some HP back or treat the injury.
All right. And roll.
All right, 2 successes.
Yay.
So you have an AP that you can spend, and your injury is treated. If you'd like, you can spend that AP to also heal some points back.
Oh, I will do that.
Okay. Vivi, take back. What's your rating in medicine?
3.
So get 3 hit points back, and you can Just,
it's
just
3,
unmarked.
and then I also have 1 rank in healer, which adds 1 additional health point back.
There you go. 4
Oh wow. Okay, that's great.
then.
Wait,
There
so
you
is there anything I do?
go. So just unmark that you have an injury and add 4 points back to your.
Okay, so I get my leg back, or what do I
Yes.
do?
Yeah. So you don't.
I get my leg
The
back?
injury isn't gone. I mean, you still have a giant bullet wound, but it's been treated so that it's no longer going to give you any penalties.
Now I thought for a second that my leg got blown off as well.
No.
Oh man. I was like, way to start the session.
Now,
It's
if
like,
y'all
let's
want,
fashion you a peg leg.
we can definitely go with video game physics, and when you get a crit, you can lose that limb, but that's
No, I wanna keep
it's
it.
really hard to get them back.
You only got
Where's
so
your
many of them.
optimism, JJ? You can have a whole new leg. You know?
There's plenty laying around.
This one's made of
so
metal.
It's an injury, but it's not a missing leg. Yeah.
We'll get to there eventually. This will be like, a little recurring theme. Kind of like the leg almost gets
It'll
blown
always
off.
be the left leg.
You'll
The leg of Theseus,
you'll get a leg up on the competition.
Yeah.
But JJ's just gonna pat Hazel and be like, "Oh, that was so nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. He got a real good shot on me, but could have been a lot worse."
I mean, you seem to get a real good shot on him also. So, if anything, he was just being a petty bitch, getting it back at you.
Oh, greatness attracts greatness.
I guess so. Anyway, let's help you up.
All right. So things have calmed down. 2 raiders have run off, and you probably won't see the likes of them again unless you want to track them down. Dr. Rast will come out from hiding behind the car, take a look at the poor Rad Rocky who's lying on the ground there next to Castor, and just sort of walk up and slit the guy's throat. He closes his eyes and it's over now. You're sorry, there's nothing we could do for you.
Castor is going to look at him with a bit of offense. Like somebody just went and did one of those things where they carve into the best part of the cake and then take it for themselves. And so, like, wait a minute, that was my piece, So, he's you can see his bloodshot eyes and everything. And he's just kind of going to look at Dr. Rast and like, you can tell it's a glare. It's not a glare of approval. It's not a look of approval. It's he's upset, but he stops for a moment mid carving, and then he's going to return to what he was doing. So yeah.
Rast stand up and pat you on the shoulder and say, enjoy yourself, son, but we don't need to make them suffer.
You're next. That's all he's going to say. And then he's going to pull out, I don't know, again, you can make me roll whatever you want, but he's going to pull out what looks to be like a pouch of some kind. Like if you didn't know better, you'd think it was like a Capri Sun pouch. And he's going to like start doing a thing where he starts siphoning off the blood. Like he pokes like the end of a tube into this guy's body and starts siphoning off the blood into this pouch. And so it's some arcane occult sort of process that he's involved in here that looks kind of like Wasteland surgery or a transfusion of some kind, but not really. So yeah,
it's just something that he does in his head. It's not exactly. You're not making a real blood pack or anything like that.
No, it's like something he's trying to do. So basically, you can see that he's involved in this ritual now.
Nice. Okay. Well, Castor is doing some sort of black magic. What would the rest of you like to do? Dr. Rast is sort of wandering toward the entrance of the vault and looking in. Like, do you suppose there's any more of them? There was that yell for help. I think we should go in. Do you think we should go in?
Well, I did see a blood trail going on down in there somewhere. I don't know if it was from one of the raiders or for someone else who was screaming for help. But
all right, would you like to now that you have a little bit more time, a better look at that blood trail?
Yes, I would actually.
Yeah, make another medicine and intelligence check on that.
Medicine, intelligence.
Yeah.
Roll. Not good.
Ooh, okay. So you got no successes, unless you want to spend an AP to add another die or something like that. You can spend AP to re-roll any one die that you just rolled. So 2 AP, you can roll both.
You're welcome to spend an AP.
But you
if want.
don't get rid of the complication that way.
I don't get rid of the
gonna ask.
complication.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can try again on getting a success.
I guess. Let's.
Complication is it's your blood. So, no.
It's my blood. I'm bleeding and I didn't even know it. Okay.
Oh,
Did you just get another complication?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes. Okay. 2 complications. Great. Make work for me. All right. So we'll get to that in a sec.
Wonderful. Hazel just goes blind.
Yeah.
You know what it was? Hazel did such a great job with that whole healing thing, and then got closer to the entrance. The blood reminded Hazel of what's going on just over the way there, and
Yeah.
everything just went sideways.
the medical atrocities happening like 2 feet away.
All right. So let's see. What do you learn? Okay. So you can see that the blood trail. You can kind of look back down it, and it goes off down the road, kind of in the direction that the raiders ran off to. And about 100 feet away, you can still see the trail. So the injury wasn't here. Whoever's bleeding got injured before they got here, and which we're trying to maybe get here as a place to hide or something like that.
Okay.
It's still wet. Blood starts to get dry and sticky pretty quickly. So this is still, it's not like super fresh, but it's still
like
sticky.
very new.
Yeah, it's quite fresh in terms of, it's been a few minutes. Maybe they're still alive. But there's a massive amount of blood. When you look at this trail, you're kind of surprised whoever made it down the road made it this far. And the trail goes off, into the vault. You can see, the big old gear vault door, is rolled away. There's a bloody smear on the console that, opens the door, like a handprint around where you would plug in a Pip-Boy to get the thing open.
Mm-hmm.
And then the trail goes on into the area. Unfortunately, about this time, you can see an elevator in the back. Ding! And 2 more raiders come out, carrying your complications.
Okay.
So they come out. They see you fiddling around with the console there, and they open fire.
Okay.
The healer's going to need healing.
Hold on, let me just patch myself up real quick. Oh, fuck.
So
Heal thyself.
Yeah.
we're just going to have one of them basically roll for the
Arise.
I tried to move Marvin up. I don't know if he's inside the cave now or.
If you would like to be with,
Yeah.
along with Hazel, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
The bullets come flying. We'll take 1 shot at Hazel, 1 shot at Marvin. One of them hits Marvin in the main body, and
Tink.
does no damage.
Ding.
Just bing, 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 off of his armor.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's 2 more raiders coming. Let's start up a new combat here. Just we're still sort of in the same area, so. And again, JJ is up first. So Hazel and Marvin went inside the cave vault. Castor was out carving things up, and Dr. Rass is kind of standing at the entrance watching Marvin and Hazel. And you see him duck down as you hear some bullets, some guns go off, and some bullets come flying through. What would you like to do, Jolly? Where are you standing?
Well, I need to be a medium distance to use my gun well.
The raiders are at a medium distance from you. They're in the next zone.
They're medium distance? Oh, lit. All right, so I'm going to hold on. How do I target him?
And that doesn't mean you can't use it if they're closer. Just it's a hunting rifle. It's hard to shoot someone who's 10 feet away from you and moving if you're swinging a hunting rifle around. That's the only.
Here, I'm going for that one who's right in front of me. Can you see that I targeted him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my
You have
little
little
dice.
icons on there. There's a little blue dot on it.
Oh, a little blue dot. Okay,
Yep.
yeah. Like,
All right, so I'm going for him. I'm gonna use center mass.
Oh yeah, you have the perk center mass.
Yeah, so when
I
I
don't
make a
remember what that
ranged
does,
attack, I choose to strike my target's torso location or equivalent without increasing the difficulty of the attack. In addition, I may reroll 1d20 when making the test for my attack.
All right, nice perk.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll my gun and weapon. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna go roll twice. Okay, so I got a 9 and a 9. So
Nice,
do I
nice.
re-roll it anyway?
I'm sorry. Do you what anyway?
Do I re-roll it anyway since I'm firing? I'm going for
Well,
You
you
don't
center.
have
So
to.
you got 2 successes.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got 2 successes. So if you re-roll one of them, there's a chance that you'll lose a
Oh,
success because you
no.
have to keep the new one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm aiming for center mass.
Yep. So you hit him in the torso automatically. The difficulty doesn't go up, so it still has a defensive 1. So all you
Okay.
needed was the 1 hit. So you have an extra AP if you want to add that to damage, or if you want to bank it. Up to you.
I'm gonna put it in the bank.
All right. Bank that and go ahead and roll your
Medamage.
6 die. I mean, it is a big hunting rifle. It does damage.
Ding!
Well, it does damage when you roll well. All right, so that's 2
Yeah,
damage
well, don't
on.
say it like that. I'm the only optimist here. All right.
Why is this? Okay, fine. I'll just open his sheet.
2 things.
And the critical result for hitting someone in the torso, and this is why this perk is important, is that they get a bleed effect. So at the end of each of their turn, at the end of his turn, he's going to get 2 more damage dice of physical damage. So not necessarily 2 damage, but he'll roll 2 dice at the end of his turn and possibly die on his turn. Probably not with 2 dice, but maybe.
All right, so I've done my
Okay.
thing. And yeah.
All righty. Oh, I guess I should have begun combat. All right, Caster. You hear some gunfire from inside. JJ's just stepped up and let off with her big old hunting rifle, which kind of makes you happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's familiar with this sound now and the kind of damage it does to people. So he's what he does. He rises from the corpse of what was formerly Rad Rocky, and his mouth is covered in blood. It's sticky. It's coming down, and he stuffs that pouch somewhere in his armor. You don't know where it goes, but it just disappears. Like he comes up over that hill, and he's like a slavering beast. Is just like this is the perfect scene for him. There's blood on the ground. There's blood from the wounded person. He's just this is the best day ever. It's like his birthday. So yeah. So basically, he's going to attack the wounded animal here, which is all he sees. He's basically wounded prey. JJ. He's forming a tag team system here with JJ. JJ wounds them. He finishes them off. This is what's happening. So yeah, he just goes right after the next one.
All right. So you're going after the one that JJ just shot. So the wounded.
That's
one.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
He's a bit far away because
Okay.
You're a couple zones away.
Well,
so
if there's one closer, he'll go for that.
there's
one.
not. It's just that you're going to have.
So
you have to get
you can
past
see
into
this
the
dark
thing,
shape. He's just moving towards. He's closing in for.
So
what
that's
he
fine.
knows. This
Just
is the way it's gonna happen.
spend 2 of the party AP there so that you can get there and do an attack.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
And then go ahead and make your
Make my
attack.
attack.
And I assume you're going machete again.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's his favorite weapon. Yeah.
And I will tell you most likely if you hit.
Oh, this guy's too squirrely.
He's too squirrely. Would you like to re-roll? 1 AP to re-roll 1 die.
No. For now, I think we'll. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's bloody.
He's scared out of his mind.
Right, and he's kind of like freaking out. He's squirrely. He's free from all the blood that's kind of
Yeah.
like pouring out of this sucking chest wound, and he just sort of
Oh,
slips
yeah,
out of your hands
then
and leaves you
comes
face
down
to
one
face.
side, comes down the other side. This guy is just like, he's
Leaves you face to face with the other raider, and who's kind of looking on in horror. All right, Hazel. So you were fiddling with the blood trail, and
Yeah.
the elevator opened, and things started shooting at you. One of them is nearly dead, and this crazy looking raider who you find yourself an ally with, all of a sudden, has just flown past you with blood streaming down his chin. What do you do?
Well, Hazel will sort of like hear the elevator open and these guys just immediately come out, start shooting, and then just shit hits the fan. Caster's leaning over this one debilitated one. Hazel will just be like, oh geez, and then just start like pull out her laser pistol and start firing at the one who's not injured yet.
Good plan. All right. They are a zone away from you. I do believe the laser pistol, it works better close up. Do you want to move into their zone?
Yes, I will get closer.
So you move out of the way these vaults tend to be set up is there's an exterior area where there's a control panel that you can open the big gear door, and then just inside the gear door there is sort of an antechamber. In this case, it's an antechamber with an elevator.
Okay.
So you're moving from the exterior chamber into the antechamber.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I will sort of like run closer, and fire with my laser pistol towards the uninjured one.
All right. Ooh, you hit him in the head. If you roll a crit, that would be
all right.
cool.
And how do I roll damage again? Is it just the number right next to the weapon name?
Yeah, it'll be
the base
damage.
damage.
The image of the die that's right next.
Okay,
to
yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So not that he has any sort of armor on his head, but you would have gotten right through that. But 4 damage, not quite a crit, unless you want to spend AP to make another die roll or so.
Sure, I will do that.
And that would be spending the party AP because you didn't have enough success.
Yep.
Well, you can spend another party AP to add another one if you want. How much do you want to spend?
If people are okay with that,
go for it.
I'm going to mark those down while we're thinking about it.
I guess we should be doing the
there
thumbs
you go.
up.
You added 2 more, so you just critted him in the head. Boom. Let me mark that he has an injury. And for a head crit, I think basically he's like bleeding into his eyes and is going to... where'd that go? Momentarily dazed and loses his normal actions on his next turn. Okay. Which one was that? That was...
Well, he did just get shot in the face with a laser, so that's understandable.
Okay. Yeah. And he can't see clearly, so anything that he has to do that relies on vision, like shooting back at you guys, increases his difficulty by 2. Which, is when you're only rolling 2 dice can be a hard thing to get past. So well done. All right, Marvin.
All right.
A good fraction of your party is now inside the antechamber of the vault fighting. What would you like to do?
Well, he came inside. Is the guy that Caster was attacking, is he still alive?
Yeah, both of the 2 new raiders are still alive, barely hanging on. If you'd like to move into that room.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, because everything he does is at close range. So
yeah.
Am I spending a minor action then to move?
Minor action to move in.
Okay.
Major action to attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna target this guy. I think I did that right. And buzzsaw. Okay, so we got 3 successes.
3 successes.
And then damage. Yes, please.
So you have 2 AP to spend from the 2 extra successes.
He did 5 damage there.
Yeah, that's enough to do a crit on anyone, and that is enough to kill the guy. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Which if it's Raider 1 or Raider 2, it doesn't matter. He's dead.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna waste the.
Yeah, you hit him in the left arm. That arm has come off.
Yeah.
Blood spurting everywhere, and you can just see him kind of. As the blood leaves his body, he just, between that and the sucking chest wound, he just has lost his blood. He crumples to the ground slowly.
He glides over and is like, "Let me give you a hand." Yeah. cuts off the leg, the arm. So
grab by the wrist with the pincer and just. Now you can beat the other one to death with the arm.
That's what I was thinking about. Picking up the arm, and then using it as
you've got the arm, and you've got 3 arms. So I figure you grab his wrist with the pincer, you take your buzzsaw arm, cut it off, and now you've got an arm and your pincer.
Okay.
Would you like to spend 2 AP to take an extra attack? You have those
actually,
2
I don't
AP.
know if there's. I think there's only 1 AP left. So.
Well, you just garnered 2 on your attack.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just reading the thing. Okay, all right. So so I definitely will. So I can attack the same guy, beat him with his arm.
Yeah. Well, he's dead.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But the other one's
you can beat his corpse with his arm if you really want to.
Yeah.
I don't think I can move over. Can I?
That's true. You would have to.
Yeah.
He's not right next to you, so
no, that's fine. I'll stay here.
But so you've got 2 AP personal. There's 1 in the party pool.
Oh, okay.
You spend the 1 in the party pool to get a minor action to move over next to him, and then
I will
spend your 2 to take an attack. Why not?
Definitely. Okay.
I'll mark down the party pool. You guys are at 0. Now, if you guys want to do any party stuff, I get points.
Okay. So now I can.
I see what you're doing here. This is why you had to spend it, because you want us to give you points. I get it.
That's right.
So I'm using
2 left.
So I'm using my pincer this time because I'm holding.
Just
arm.
use the pincer, and we'll. I don't know what the damage. Let me look at the damage for a pincer attack.
2 successes.
It's 3 damage. Let's call it 2 damage for hitting him with an arm instead of the actual pincer.
Okay, so 2 damage.
Yep. So just subtract 1 off of that, and all right. So
I bashed him in the right leg with the arm.
Yeah, bashed him in the right.
He's basically trying to do like sweep the leg.
Right, and then there's no effect associated with this, but let's say the effect is that you actually knock him prone by sweeping his leg with the arm. The elbow hooks around him, kind of grabs it, whoosh, and that's the effect. So he's down. He's still alive, but he's bleeding out pretty quickly because this is the one that got shot in the chest. And on his turn, let's see, does that happen at the end of his turn? So he gets one last thing to do while he's dying, and he'll just lie there on the ground and say, "Mercy, please save me. Don't let that thing at me." And you can't tell whether he's pointing at Marvin or Castor because he's kind of like...
I'm not a thing.
All right. JJ, what would you like to do? You're standing a couple zones back. You can see, a raider lying on the ground, vaguely pointing at your opponents, but you're not sure what he's saying. You can see his mouth moving, but you can't hear anything from here. Uh-oh. Did you freeze? You did freeze. It's a good pose to freeze in, though. There we go.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back.
Unfortunately, I can't be back. I saw her do it. And I put it no. I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna be like, could be a threat, could be whatever. I should just make sure the job's done because it's a lot easier to just get it off everybody's plate. So I'm gonna
He's
go
lying
in.
on the ground, kind of surrounded by people. So your difficulty is going to go up by 1. So you'll need 2 successes to hit him.
Could I possibly just get close and use my machete?
Yes, because he was medium range for you, which means he was 1 zone over. So yeah, minor action will put you in the same zone, and you can attack with your machete if you'd like to finish him off.
Yeah. All right. This is not my best skill, so be warned. We're gonna do great.
Nope.
We did fantastic. We did the best.
You slip a little bit in the blood, and your aim goes off. Unless you would, like to buy an AP from me.
Wow, that seems like such a fun idea that I don't want to do right now.
All right, then. Caster.
For tutorials.
Yep. Caster, Jolly just came in and tried to steal your thunder with a machete strike and completely whiffed.
Yeah, he's going to show her how this is done. So he's going to move over and finish.
Look here, little lady. This
Finish
is
it. He's reluctant to leave. He's reluctant to leave the corpse that is bleeding all over the place that he was working on. That Marvin so helpfully de-armed, and so basically, disarmed, as it were. I'm sorry, I was using the wrong word. And so he understands that there's still one person who is crying out for mercy, and besides the blood all over the place, there's nothing that draws him like that. So he gets up and it very slowly goes over, looms over this guy like the last thing you ever want to see before you die. Please, and he is going to yes, and he's going to raise his machete and do what needs to be done here.
All right, 4 successes. Yeah. So normally when you roll a 1, you get 2 successes. That's your critical. When you're rolling on a tag skill, anything that you roll under your skill rank is a critical.
So that's what tag skills do. I had no idea.
Of,
3. he's done for. Yeah. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So he only had the 1 hit point left.
And he just.
Would you like to describe what you did to him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So basically what he does is he brings that machete down and separates the head from the shoulders. And then he pounces on him and just starts slurping out all of that wonderful.
Are you sucking the head?
Yeah. Just like, and you can, again, blood just coming all over his face and everything like that. And once he's sated, he pulls out another pouch. You don't know where these come from. And he just sticks it directly into the neck and just starts siphoning it into the pouch. And he's not going to acknowledge anyone else around him. He's just doing this thing. So, yeah.
You must have discovered some abandoned Nuka-Sun warehouse.
Yeah.
And, a few crates of unfilled Nuka-Sun packages.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as Caster just starts sucking the head, Hazel is gonna just avert her eyes to anything else that's in the room, probably the elevator or something.
Is it do you need the nutrients from it? Is that are you on a diet?
He's just
let's see. Does this game have? Did they bring in the cannibalism perk for this the game? Because if not, we may have to write one up.
It's all protein.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Rass is kind of leaning against the doorway, looking at you guys, going, "Y'all are definitely well suited to the wasteland."
Marvel's just gonna swivel his eye around and and who are you again?
Sorry, I don't think I introduced myself. Rast, Dr. Rast.
We was too busy killing.
I noticed that. I don't think we found whoever it was that was screaming for help, though. Should we go further in?
Eye swivels back.
I think we should.
Yeah, it's hard to tell where the blood trail that you were following in leads to. There's just too much blood everywhere now. But there's really only one way to go.
I wonder why that
is. There's a storage closet and the elevator.
Storage closet and elevator.
Well, you think it's a storage closet. There's a door that says storage.
Why don't we check out storage first?
Yeah,
and
seems
then
seems like a logical first place to check before we venture deeper.
The door is locked.
Ooh, can I lockpick?
Do you have anything that you can pick a lock with?
Bobby
pin, lockpick set.
I have a multi-tool.
Not actually good for picking locks.
No, I don't have anything. I just have the skill.
I have a rank.
There's always bashing.
Oh wait, you have a rank in it?
Does a rank and lockpick help anything?
If you actually have a pick to pick the lock with, it does.
Can I use my? I don't know. My pincer's not really gonna.
And you can use lockpick with strength to try to bust a lock open instead of picking it nicely. It's like, oh, I know exactly where to hit this thing. So you would roll lockpick with strength, ram the door, or kick the lock and just right. And so you can try to pop a lock that way if you'd like to do that.
I want to. I'm not interrupting here, but I want to let Marvin do whatever he's going to do, and then if for some reason he still struggles with it, Castor can come over and basically break the door open.
But there's so there's nothing maybe on the control panel or something that
no control panel. This is an old mechanical, style lock. So basically, you need a bobby pin if you want to pick the lock, or a lock pick, or something like that. But you can try to force the lock by rolling lockpick with strength, and you're just kind of like,
I can try it. Yeah.
Jim, the old trick, like when your sister locked you out of the room, you kind of lean on the middle of the door flexes, and it just pops open a little bit, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'll try it.
You can tend to break things that way. Sure, yeah. Door pops right.
Successes.
Hell yeah.
Door pops right open. You hit that lock in just the right spot. It's shattered now. It's not gonna lock again, but
I don't care. The door's open.
The door's open, and sure enough, it swings open into a moderate-sized storage closet. There's it doesn't look like it's been looted in a while. It looks fairly pristine. So if you'd like to do some scavenging, we can learn about
gliding in, going, come out, wherever you are.
All right, yeah. No sign of blood in here. Lots of dust. But yeah, it's like about a 5x5 room, relatively small, like a little like a rental storage kind of place.
Lights on, or is it dark in here?
There's a switch that you can turn the light on.
He'll just flip it with his...
Yeah, the electricity's running here. There's lights like in the little antechamber in front of the elevator, and the elevator obviously works. There's lights in here, so if you want to do scavenge, we can learn about scavenging, because that's one of the pillars of this game is killing things and taking their stuff, and another is finding locations that you can scavenge in.
Okay.
So let me refresh myself on the scavenging rules real quick. I forget.
You were doing a great job, by the way. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. I just forget exactly what the role is for scavenging.
Don't worry about it. You're doing awesome.
It's perception plus survival. That was it. Survival gets used for a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So Marvin's going to lead the role since he went into the room and started. Would anyone like to assist one of you, because the room's not big enough for all of you?
I would very much like to assist and see if there's anything that the Brotherhood might find interesting.
Okay.
Just one success.
When you're doing a group check, you have one person that does the lead roll. They're going to roll base 2 dice, and then of course you can add more like normal. Anyone who's assisting rolls only 1d20 though. You use your own target number, but just roll 1d20. And if you want to just roll 1d20, you can use the macro that's in the macro bar there.
Okay. So let's see. You said survival and perception.
Yep.
Okay, so that'd be 8, I think.
And Marvin got 1 success. All right.
No, just 1. I do not need 2. Thank you very much. Nope. Okay.
Well, that's all you guys needed was 1 success to find anything. Let's see what. So the way scavenging will work is generally a place will have like a little table of these are the things you can find. So we're going to say this storage closet has food and clothing. And maybe something oddball. And it'll give you a listing of like what's the minimum roll, and it'll be like food 1-3 would tell you that you get at least 1 roll if you get 1 success, and you can spend AP to either add a second roll or a third roll. So let's say that this has food 1-2, clothing 1-3, and oddball of 1 or 0-1. Oddball being like all kinds of miscellaneous stuff. So you got 1 success, which means that you can roll once on the food table, once on the clothing table. and 0 times on the oddball table. But if you spend an AP, you can add a roll to any of those things that you want. So, for example, on the roll tables for food, I think I set this up so that you guys can roll from the tables yourself, but let me just find them real quick. Random scavenge, food. There's a one of the tabs in the little tab column there looks sort of like a bulleted list. Those are the rollable tables. So if you go there, you might be able to see some of these. I'll just do the roll real quick for you so you don't have to look for it. Rolling once. On food, you get a gourd. And rolling once on clothing, you get some hides.
We'll keep the gourd for Thanksgiving.
Doesn't make much sense in a vault closet, but what the hell?
Why not? They might have had to scavenge also.
Right? You don't know how long ago this door was locked. Just long enough, it's really dusty. Now, if you'd like to, you can spend AP to roll more on the food and clothing or the oddball.
How much AP do we have at the moment? It says 0. So
how much would you like?
I don't need food or
I'm selling
water.
them 1-to-1 or a complication if you'd like. But that's how it would work if you wanted to spend more AP. Usually, it's better, like if you do this as a group, you have a possibility of getting lots of extra successes, and then you're just like, oh, we're going to roll all over the place, and that sort of models the fact that all 5 of you found something that that was cool. But that's how scavenging works. Why do you want to scavenge? Because sometimes you find good stuff. Like, we're not going to get into it today, but we do, because this is a survival game, you do have to start worrying about how long has it been since you ate, how long has it been since you drank, how long has it been since you slept. So you can get exhaustion and hunger and thirst problems, which we'll get into later. So having food like a gourd can be useful. Hides you can sell, or you can do crafting, because there's lots of crafting in this game. So you can make your own armor or upgrade your armor, and having hides will be helpful.
I will say, looking at the consumables, the fact that an iguana on a stick heals you more than a stim pack is wild.
But you can't eat that during combat, so
no, that's true.
It takes a little while, but yeah, food will heal you better. It's just you got to be out of combat to use it. All right, so no dead bodies in the closet, but you did find a gourd and some hides among the moldering blankets and nasty stuff. It just would make a great video game. Somebody should get on that.
Yeah.
So that leaves the elevator. And we have about 20 minutes till 4 o'clock. So plenty of time to go down the elevator if you'd like.
Well, we didn't find a bloodied, beaten person in the storage room, so I suppose that leaves the elevator to follow.
Marvin, come out of the storage room and just start heading towards the elevator.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's sort of like right next to the elevator. Let's see. We did that scene with the Raiders.
You guys haven't looted any corpses. Well, some of you looted. So.
I was thinking that was actually what I was going to do. Yeah. And I didn't want to hold up everything by doing it now, but I just wanted to note that Castor would.
While these guys are looking around in the tiny storage room.
Yeah, he was too obsessed at getting their blood.
No, after he's done that, after he's filled his pouches and sated his bloodlust, he will go ahead and strip off armor and weapons and whatever.
Okay, yeah. So just the two in here, or are you going to take time to go?
No. From all the dead corpses outside. We just killed a bunch, so.
So Castor wants to take some time to loot the bodies before you go, guys.
Yeah, while this is going on, I definitely don't want to keep us from the very exciting and interesting possibilities that the elevator holds.
All
but
right.
it's simultaneous.
All those other people you can kill.
Yeah, you can you can rifle the pockets of the two that are in here while they're in there. But that's not saying you can't go hit the ones outside. That's fine.
I was just going to do the dead ones outside since he's already there. He's performing his own culinary rituals. So yeah.
Well, these two that are here are both wearing road leathers.
Yeah.
Which cover your arms and your torso. They're just basic sort of leather armor you're familiar with. All of your raider friends wear them. They're the height of fashion these days. They both have pipe guns. I don't think any of you has anything worse than a pipe gun. But if you want an extra,
he'll take the ammo. He'll take it all. Like because Castor, he's a beast, but he can haul a lot. So he'll add the armor and he'll also pick up the guns because he's seen what JJ can do with a gun. So he's basically like he's already gathered some respect for the robot who buzzsawed the guy's arm. JJ who took off a leg. Hazel looks like they shot somebody in the face, so he's acquired some respect and appreciation for his newfound party members. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna see here. Road leathers. I wonder if I could just drag that onto your sheet just to make it easy.
Yeah, he can carry around like 240 pounds. So he's got unnatural strength.
Let's see. Yes, that showed up in your apparel tab. You now have road leathers. You can there's a little image of a shirt, like on the right hand side of the entry that you can show that you're equipped. Right now, you've got your harness on.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because they're blood stained and everything else. So it's great. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of attire that he would deck himself out in. Yeah,
right. And then the pipe pistol. Where'd that go? Weapons is way down the bottom because W is bigger than A.
This is Christmas for him.
Pistol, right? All right. So it's going to show up as a pipe gun.
Yeah.
But the way the you already have a pipe gun.
Yeah. Yeah. I figure I can take another one if
Yeah. So you can, and that's. You can break them down later during crafting and stuff if we find a crafting table.
Yeah, so whatever they have that's useful or that he can carry with him, they can break down or sell later.
Yeah. And they should have ammo with them too. And they have a wealth of 1, whatever that means. I'm just going to make a note of that you've got 2 wealths coming at you.
Sounds good.
And you can hit the others on the way out, assuming that some wild animal hasn't dragged them off.
He usually gets a good deal from anybody that's selling or buying things because he's quite persuasive.
That they have. They didn't bring those out. Melee, tire iron. I think you guys may also have access to the compendia. The compendium tab looks sort of like a book with a world on it. It's the second one from the right.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can also, I think, just open things up and then drag them onto your sheet and stuff, or look at them to see what they do. Close those for later. All right, Castor's carrying that stuff, and you guys can all carry like 200 and 210 pounds, something like that. Except maybe Marvin, I think, because you've got a.
Yeah, he's limited to like 140 or something like that. So.
Which makes sense. You're floating around on a puff of jet exhaust somehow.
You don't need those little meat legs.
All right, so you gather into the elevator. And
I picture there's some music playing.
Right, with a little bit of music.
Like this just monster with just blood all over his face. The robot, JJ who's got patched up leg and Hazel.
It's a little instrumental lounge tune.
The lights are flickering.
Sounds vaguely reminiscent of Esquivel. And it seems like you're like, wow, this is a bit of a ride down. It's more than a few seconds.
Did the doctor come with us?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's 5 of you squeezed into here. Most of you are like off to the side because Marvin is just sitting there.
Yeah. On his the eye kind of just swirling around,
and then like, watch the toes.
Castor's just like a cat. He's just like licking his hands.
It's starting to crust up and flake.
Castor's gonna move the eye just real close. Be like, you got a little stuck in your teeth there.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, Thank you.
So elevator rumbles and shakes, as it descends. You've got the little music going. The light sort of flickers a little bit as you go, but mostly it's holding still. There's a little puddle of blood, kind of sticky and dry under the button push panel. That the blood trail kind of went into. Finally, it gets down to the bottom. Ding! Slides open, and in front of you is a sort of longish hallway. The walls they're not. I mean, they're bare, but they're not like they're bare panels. It's not like you can see too much, exposed wires and stuff. The ceiling's somewhat exposed, but it looks kind of like it was finished at one point, but just like some of the panels have fallen down. There's a few rust spots in places. One spot where it looks like water got in at some point, and there's like a lot of water damage and stuff. But the place looks fairly undisturbed. There's dust on the floor. There are a couple of skeletons in blue overalls just off to the right, a few steps away from the elevator, and you can see a door that's on the right, a few feet down from those skeletons, and then the corridor just sort of extends to the end and looks like it may jog off to the left, where it joins in with something else. On the floor, just like the doors on the right, like on the left side of the corridor, there are two raider corpses and what looks like a copy of Marvin, but painted olive drab.
Marvin
a few sparks are still coming from it.
He's going to glide over, and if the corpse is laying on the robot, he will just use the pincer to grab the corpse and throw it to the side.
Okay, so you immediately go out and
yes.
Okay, so as you get to the corpses, the laser tripwires that you failed to notice set off an alarm as soon as you reach out and grab the guys who are laying just on the other side of the tripwire. So a big alarm goes off.
Wonderful.
Dr. Ass is like, shit, you set off the alarm. We need to either leave or see if we can get in that door and hide, because security's going to be here soon. If you know anything about vaults, we're going to be screwed.
I say we hide. I'm interested in what's in here.
And Hazel's just immediately going to start looking for a place to hide.
All right, Hazel,
staying with the robot.
While you're looking for a place to hide, you notice that there's a bloody smear on the wall up to that door, which says security on it. Now that the alarm is set off, the lasers are down, and you get to it without resetting the alarm. The door is locked. And as we've established, you don't have anything to pick the locks with, but you're welcome to try to bash it open. You'll need the difficulty is 2. If you want to try to pop that lock open, you need 2 successes.
I can do it.
Can we have somebody do it and somebody assist? Is that a thing?
Yep. No, you're not on a not re- well. If you're trying to bust it open, maybe 2 people could ram it. If you were actually trying to pick the lock, I don't see how anyone could assist. Okay. You can try looking around to see if there's a hidden key somewhere, or a bobby pin up someone's ass or whatever.
I go look for the bobby pin.
Yeah, where are you gonna look?
Amongst the bodies.
The fresh corpses or the skeletons?
Who
One's
more
with
than
hair.
Who has hair? I'd say the old ones, the vault dwellers.
Okay, so you start poking around in there. Make a was it perception plus survival? That was the sort of skill.
I believe that's what you said. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I click survival.
Yep, and I think perception's the default. If it's not, change it to perception.
My perception's an 8, so I put an 8 for it instead of 5.
It should automatically do it if
when you right click, it should say use perception, I think.
Yeah.
No.
Right. So abilities, survival.
Oh wait, never mind. It does. I didn't realize it. All right, cool.
Yep. Or you can, I think you're right. You can change it. Okay. Yeah, you got one success. So you kind of like quickly toss the skeletons around. There's not much to them. You can see that they are. It looks like they were fighting when they died and killed each other. One of them has like a knife like lodged between its ribs. And the one with the knife between its ribs has its like hands around the throat of the other one. But you just kind of like shove them aside and start rifling through them. And it looks like one of them either might have been a woman, definitely had long hair, but inside the pile of hair that has fallen off, you find 2 bobby pins.
Lit. Okay. We can try lockpicking it first.
All right.
Does
Yeah.
anybody have better lockpicking than me? Because I only have a 1.
I only have a 1 too.
All
I
right.
also only have a 1.
You have a 2?
All right. All right, let the
Guess
cannibal have a try.
There you go.
He's just gonna take
yeah,
it.
all right,
he's
so-
gonna hold a bloody hand and take it.
Yep. We're in the standard rules, bobby pin reduces the difficulty, but we're using some house ruling that bobby pins let you pick the lock.
Okay.
You don't get any bonus to it. If you have a set of lock picks, that gives you a bonus. It reduces the penalty by 1. If you have an electronic lock breaker, it reduces it by 2. So you have 2 bobby pins. If you roll a 20, you get a crit fail, or what do we call it? A complication. It'll break the bobby pin. Otherwise, if you fail, you're fine. So it's not like the video game where if you you keep going, you fail, it breaks.
Yeah, and then you're just like, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm still
the last one.
Exactly.
And then by the time you're at level 30, you've got 100,000 bobby pins in your pack.
So do I need to roll anything? Or
Yes, roll lockpick plus whatever the default is. I think it's perception. I was thinking about
Perception.
house ruling that to something else, but I don't feel like getting into it right now. So perception.
He's good. That's,
Nice. 3 successes. Look at that.
Caster's good at breaking into places. Yeah.
So I forgot what I said.
It makes him even more scary, Just
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
does.
You're just never safe.
It's gonna get
Anyway, you're in and you have an AP. 2 AP? I forgot what I said the difficulty was. Let's say it was 2. So you have an AP to spend or bank. Which in this case, I guess bank, because click the door pops.
I'm
open.
gonna bank because I feel like our party needs it now that we're out of AP. So he's gonna just go ahead and toss that into the.
All right, you bank it and you slip into the room. All right, so you enter a small room with 2 walls lined with dusty, disabled computers. Ashtrays, empty chem injections, and broken bottles litter the floor. A single working computer and monitor glows with a dull green light on a desk cluttered with files. Sitting with her back slumped up against an adjacent desk is a young woman with short, dark hair, wearing warm, tight-fitting clothes suited for long-distance travel. Her glasses lie askew on her nose, one of the lenses fractured. Her hands are soaked with blood as they try to apply pressure to a vicious hole in her abdomen. She looks up and speaks in a serene but pained voice. "Hey, Daddy-o. Looks like you're all stuck in here with me now." All right, I assume you're all filing into the room to hide from whatever security is coming.
There was one thing, Marvin, I wanted to do with Marvin with the robot first. Is it still working? Like you said, it was like sparking or something.
No, it's gone. It looked like it was wasn't. It's like it got a lot of older scratches and dents on it, along with the fresh ones, but it's taken down. So
Did
it's
it look
just for parts now?
Okay. Did it look like it died fighting? Those,
Yeah, it looks like it died fighting with these 2 raiders. They're both have like machetes or tire irons, I guess, whatever they were carrying. And it had, this is not a Mr. Handy. This is a Mr. Gutsy you would recognize.
Okay.
The others might not, but this is the souped up military model of the Mr. Handy.
Okay.
So it's got a flamer like you do. And a buzzsaw, but it's also equipped with an automatic 10mm pistol.
Can I loot that pistol?
Yeah, you have a moment before security gets here.
Not to hold us up too much, but
yeah. So you can take a second to grab that pistol off, and you're not sure exactly how you'll use it, but you have basically the Mr. Handy pistol mod if you want to swap that in at some point.
Okay. Thank you.
And I sort of like see this woman sort of just like bleeding all over the place, trying to like staunch her bleeding. And before Mr. Cannibal gets any funny ideas over there, I'm gonna try and run over and like try to start patching her up.
All right, so you do that. Dr. Rast will join you. In fact, he kind of like elbows you out of the way because he doesn't really know you at this point. And he's kind of like taking over. I'm the doctor, I can do this sort of thing. He's being very patriarchal about it.
We hate that.
Yeah. So if you let him, he's going to push you out of the way and do this on his own.
Do I get the impression that he actually knows what he's doing?
Oh, he definitely seems to know what he's doing. He has some medicine skill. He's going about, in your opinion, the appropriate procedure to deal with the wound. But
okay, then begrudgingly, I will sort of like step aside and then just like assist him.
Okay,
very begrudgingly, but
give me a medicine
we'll
and
so
intelligence check.
Okay, medicine intelligence roll. Well, I got 2 successes, but I got a complication.
Okay, so 2
He's
successes.
busting out with the complications.
Apparently so. Hopefully,
Right,
I'm just
I'll
getting
make
them
note
out
of
of
that
my system before next session.
Yeah, that complication won't come back to bite you.
I'm sure.
So you notice that while he's definitely doing everything that needs to be done, you can tell it's not going to do any good. Not in the long run. There's just too much damage to her abdomen, and y'all just don't have the facilities. Doesn't matter how many stim packs he pulls out of his back pocket and shoves into her. She's just not going to survive. You're not sure if you come to this conclusion before he does, but at one point, you can kind of see him kind of like pause for a sec and then, continue, but it seems a little more half-hearted. For the rest of you, you've pulled into the room. It is now 4:00. We've been doing this for just about 2 hours. Should we go ahead? This is a good place actually to pause and come back next Saturday.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to pause.
Okay. So next time we will deal with the half-dead woman, a room full of a large scavenging opportunity, and a nice glowing computer that maybe you can hack. And a complication that's coming.
Wonderful. We love that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
And she's half dead for now, but Aster can fix that.
Well, Marvin's going to say, don't eat her.
Yeah.
Only eat the bad ones.
Castor is just going to look at him like with disapproval, but he's already fed today, so he's okay with that.
Castor shrugs like,
it's possible, has noticed
you're all
that
bad ones.
Jolly probably thinks like Castor has like this extreme iron deficiency or something, and wants to like eat people, and like pulls out an arm that she may have like taken from outside,
stowed away in her back pocket.
Kind of like taking
boy.
out. He's like, you need like a snack, or
He's like, oh, thank you, and he's just going to take it.
No, I'm going to start eating it like corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Right. By the end of next session, you will definitely have leveled up. So be thinking about what perk you might want to add.
Awesome.
And I will definitely look into a possible cannibalism perk of some sort.
I've got just the thing for you. I'll send it through.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know there was I don't remember what they called it, but in one of the games there was a thing where you could go cannibal and have. I don't know if that's in these rules, but I'm sure if it's not, someone has adopted.
We can homebrew it in. Yeah.
Homebrew it. No. All right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
this was great.
A grand old time.
Anybody have anything they want to shout out to the world?
Anybody want to talk about a certain ice cream company?
well, since you're putting me on the spot and on the stage, anybody who's familiar with the Trash Mob knows my sales pitch, and knows what I need from you, Mini Melts. I need you to sponsor us at Barbarian Gaming. More importantly, I need you to send me a packet of your cotton candy flavored Mini Melts through this sponsorship. I think we could have a great work relationship. I've done this every episode I've been on. I really love your mini melts. I do think they're way too expensive in malls. We could think of a business like, plan to fix that. Because the
Mini
only
Melts truck.
time mom didn't let me have them as a kid was because they were $6 at the mall. But at the 7-Eleven I get them at, it's $3. I think that should be our price everywhere, at all places, no matter the location. So, in the most calm and sincere and, most rational manner, give me the sponsorship. For so long.
Caster will track you down.
Right. Anybody else have anything they want to plug?
Let's see. We got another Trash Mob coming this Wednesday, or is...
We do not. No, the Trash Mob is on a slight hiatus. We will finish the story, folks. We just got to figure out when we're going to finish the story. But next week we do have on Wednesday, and I'll let the GM for that game tell us.
Yes. Wednesday, our game of Simbaroom is coming back. Both Tom and Q are in that one. If you want to see more of their lovely faces. We're picking up where we left off.
We know you really watched for Jeffrey.
With the with the party getting assaulted by spider people.
I mean, I've already got my move planned already. I've been waiting months to go. I dodge.
I move out of the way. I do not let those spider people touch me.
Yes.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay. And some other games coming up next week. I want to thank everybody for watching the stream. Everybody joined in. Thank you very much. Please be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and we will be back with more Fallout next Saturday. So thanks again, everybody.
We'll take a break for a little while, but...
and time to log off.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yep. Bye.